It's no secret that many devices in the Android world are terribly supported when it comes to software and laughed at by Apple supremacists. Of course, there are companies like Google and OnePlus who are actually quite good at getting timely updates to devices, but then there are those such as Lenovo, Samsung, and even more so LG that laugh when you try to check for the latest updates. I'm sure you're out there saying, right, there are so many different models of these Samsung and Lenovo phones, whereas Google only has 6 devices and OnePlus 9, so that's surely the reason. But it gets a lot deeper than this, and the reason I'm making today's video is because my V30, which I've been reviewing for the past week or so, has had a few problems with the updates. See, when a company releases a new device, let's take for example the LG V30, it releases variants based on region and the carrier to accommodate for pre-installed bloatware such as carrier customer portals, different bands for different carriers, unlocked versus locked SKUs, and also sometimes RAM upgrades or dual SIM models for the likes of the V30 Plus and the infamous Duos series of Samsung flagships. The V30 has 8 versions: the H930, H931, H932, H933, VS996, 930DS, US99A and LS998U. And that's only for the V30, not accommodating for the LG G, K and Q series. I find it remarkable this can be the case on a phone that's really appealing to a small niche. So an LG V30 isn't going to sell anywhere near as many units as say a Samsung S8. It's a lot more mainstream and it has 13 versions. And yes, I checked, none of these are the S8 Plus, which has a further 13 versions. This is just ridiculous. I'm not sure if LG's just fizzling out their mobile division or they literally don't know what they're doing, but this is crazy because LG sales are going down, not going up, so they really need to limit this kind of fundamentally broken fragmentation in only their lineup. Of course, there are other companies that do this, but LG are taking a massive hit with this. And I think it's a discussion we need to have as phone enthusiasts, tech enthusiasts, not necessarily the removal of the headphone jack, which you can get around with just the dongle that comes in the box, or maybe notches. I mean, those are aesthetic things, but functional security updates and functional settings changes on newer versions of software that fundamentally keep the phone alive and supported aren't being supported. And there are many phones, the LG's just good examples, that really show this terrible support in the world of literally just the carrier. Because when LG or Samsung release an update to their version of the OS, since their skins on Android are usually quite heavy, and often at times the layman wouldn't know that a V30 and S8 both run the same version of Android, they have to release those updates for all of the different carriers who then update their bloat and then it gets pushed to the user. But because the carriers then have to do this for every device, they usually ignore it and they don't do it at all, and that leads to problems. And I get it, there are loads of you out there who literally don't care and they'll either go and buy a different phone like an iPhone or a Pixel or a OnePlus that get updated well, or you'll go out there and just put custom software on your phone. It's really not that difficult for us techies. But the mainstream users, we are not the mainstream, we are the very small minority. The majority of people who are buying these phones won't know or want to install custom software on their phone to fix something that seems so simple. And it's easy for us to say that these companies are only doing this to make us buy the next one, planned obsolescence. But here's some food for thought. OnePlus, a company who makes sure that the older phones do get new updates and in a timely manner, have grown tenfold over the past half decade and are doing bits because they are thought of as the brand who cares about their customer base. Whether you believe that they do or not is neither here or there, but they have some of the best returning customers, and that is no coincidence. Google's Android One program has made me really excited for the future of Android and its updates, because their no-nonsense software in combination with no-nonsense hardware from Nokia, Xiaomi and others means that we might actually start to see that fragmentation die out, a really step forward for the OS. And on a similar note, Google is mandating what it classes as popular smartphones to get 2 years of software updates and security updates from the manufacturer, which I personally think is fitting, as a lot of people will upgrade their phones in a 24-month or 2-year cycle, making this the ideal scenario for those users. So there you have it. Basically, the carriers, and there are several different versions of the phone with the carrier bloat, they don't update their phones, and therefore the updates don't get pushed out for certain people. Now I realise my case with the LG V30 is quite rare because the people who have my model number do tend to get the updates, but for some reason mine's just not getting it. And that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully we can see that fragmentation die out. I would actually love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments. Do you even care about this? There are some people who just don't update their phone at all, even if they do get the updates, and there are some people who are actively every day checking for updates. I fall roughly in the middle of those two camps, but hopefully we can start a conversation about that fragmentation. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Please do like, dislike, comment, subscribe if you're new around here to never miss a video like this one. Also, please do check out other videos that I will leave at the end of the end screen. And also, I'd love you to check out my social media. A massive thanks to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support. My name is Ryan Thomas of Elzek, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.